everyone, this is Kathy here with your top 10 crypto charts for the week of October 25th, 2021. And so we're taking a look and we're going to start with the market leader, Bitcoin. We had a very extended rally in BTC last week. It hit record highs above 66,000. To be more precise, 67,016 was the high that we hit. But on Thursday and Friday, it started to roll over, started to U-turn. So the big question is this the beginning of a deeper market reversal or just a brief correction before new highs in BTC? So in order to answer that question, we've got to bring in our fib retracements, which will give us a sense of whether any key levels have been broken. So I'm drawing from the June lows all the way up to the record high. And you can see no key levels broken. And the 23.6% fib retracement, right around 58,000, pretty much coincides with the 20-day SMA. So that's the main support level that you have to pay attention to, because this is also where we have a former resistance turned breakout point in Bitcoin. So we should pull back, and we could pull back to that level. Now, whether that holds or not will determine whether this is a deeper correction. If it holds, then we're probably headed back to 64,000 and above 66,000. If it doesn't though, and it breaks, then the next support level is going to be first at 54,000, which is this support here, and right above these high resistances around 51,000. So for now, it does look like the uptrend has not been broken. This may just be a pullback within a broader uptrend, but the level to watch is 58,000 in BTC. ETH, no surprise, similar price action, but much greater reversal candle in Ethereum. Still, if we drew trend lines, you'll see that we're still in a broader uptrend for ETH. And if we drew our fibs, you will see, and if we draw from here, you will see that we've got quite a bit of support levels. I mean, the first support level is going to be the trend line support right around here, which I would even say is this swing high is 38,050. And if we drew a horizontal line here, we can get a better view of that. So that's probably the first level support, which coincides with the upward sloping trend line. And then below that is going to be the 23.6% fib, although I put it right underneath that at the 20 SMA at 3690, because that's pretty much where this low is. If we clear below that, then we're probably going to see a deeper correction towards 34,000. But for the time being, it just looks like it could be just a bit of a corrective move within a broader rally for the time being. Binance, not as much of a corrective pattern here, although it does look like we have a bit of a inverse head and shoulders. This is the head here. These are the two small shoulders. This is the neckline over here. If we have the necklines, roughly drawn, then none of this stuff is ever really perfect. But this would be the head down here, and these would be the shoulders. So one here and one here. So still, we're pulling back because, all of the coins had pulled back towards the end of last week. And we still are in a broader uptrend. There's support around these lows here at 453, which kind of coincides with the 20 SMA. But I think it's going to come back and test the neckline here. Solana, doing much better than some of the other coins. It did not pull back at all towards the end of last week, just powered higher, wants to test these highs over here. And if you look at, any chart of Solana, you'll know that these are record highs. So it came close to breaking the record highs, didn't do that on Friday, but looks like it wants to. Overall, uptrend remains intact. 220 is psychological significant resistance level, but of course this high here is also significant resistance to watch. Litecoin looks much more like Bitcoin and Ethereum, where it kind of rallied strongly in the front of last week, pulled back towards the end of last week. A very clear support level at the 200 SMA, just under 190 here. So that's definitely something to watch. And if we draw this fib over here, you can see that just under that level, around 186 with the 50% fib of this move. And we can probably draw a fib from this low here upwards, and you can see that 186.50 is pretty much the level to watch in Litecoin. And for the time being, until this whole 186, 183 region breaks, the uptrend in Litecoin still looks like it's intact. Polkadot does not. The pattern doesn't look like any of the other charts in the sense that, it didn't pull back as much, and then on Friday it hit a new high, and it did end the days more towards the low than the highs, which is more of a reversal candle that we do not like. But for the time being, I think that, while this candle worries me a little bit, and it is more of a classic reversal like candle, that would be much more so if it turned red, signaling the possibility of Polkadot falling. The overall trend is still up, although in this coin specifically, I think it could come down to 40. Luna, we've got an overall, positive pattern to holding the 20 SMA. I think for the most part, there's technicals really don't help us much here, but it does suggest that as long as we hold above the 20 SMA, the uptrend does remain intact. It's closed firmer than some, the Polkadot, for example, so it seems a little bit more bullish if you're doing cross plays, but I think, right now it looks like it still wants to head back to 46, 48. Cardano, I don't know why this is at the bottom towards the end of what we're talking about. It should be the top. I'll reorder everything next time we do this, but not looking so great. I mean, it's towards the bottom of its multi 3-month range, or 2-month range, towards the bottom of its 2-month range. And it's not really as extended or enjoyed the rally as some of the other coins, and it's just kind of consolidating. I think that a breakout is imminent in this, and if we drew our fibs, we're just basically waiting for a breakout here. The low is obviously Thursday's low of 2.038. And the high of the range, I would put it more at the 50 SMA at 2.31. Those are the levels that we're going to watch. And if it breaks to one the upside, I think that it could continue. So this is more consolidative, not too much. Ripple also consolidating, but holding above the 50 SMA. It looks like it wants to come down, and it looks like it wants to see some weakness here. Although it is holding right at the 38.2% fib of the July to September move, so that's pretty critical support. I think it looks like it wants to break. So that's what my bias is for Ripple right now. And then last but not least, we have Dogecoin. Dogecoin is not looking good, breaking below all of the major moving averages, and looks like it wants to come down to 22 cents. Whenever it breaks below all the major moving averages, it's a very bearish signal. So I think that we could see a deeper correction in this. And if we bring in our fibs, did not let that go. Okay, we bring in our fibs, we've got support right around the 61.8% retracement, which is pretty much around these lows. I think it's going to test that, and then that break will decide whether we head much lower down to 20 cents. So that's the outlook for the week ahead, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.